Soarin' for Your Heart by The Fine Brony. Edited by BlackIrisBalloon. The clock on the nightstand read 5 a.m. Celestia had yet to raise her sun on all of Equestria, while Luna's moon was ending its cycle. Rainbow Dash got up on her bed and looked down at her stallion, watching him pull the blankets over his head. Soarin had just gotten to bed not too long ago, having been kept up most of the night by their crying son. Older ponies will say that these early few years in a pony's life are the ones that parents yearn for when their children grow up. But at that moment, Soarin thought all those ponies who said that were crazy. Screaming, crying, puking, yelling, night after night of barely having any time to yourself. The stress of taking care of a young foal who couldn't do anything for themselves was difficult, but what could he do? Rainbow Blitz was only a couple of weeks old. He loved his son more than anything in the world. That small blue ball of fur with a rainbow mane was his child. Blitz had inherited his father's eyes along with his coat, and both father and son had nearly the same hairstyle. Rainbow Dash thought it was funny if they were styled the same, so she did so. The days where Soarin and Dash could hang out and do whatever their hearts desire were days that they occasionally wished for. But having a foal together was awesome in its own way, a choice that neither of them would ever regret. It came with its fair share of challenges and problems, but the rewards were ever so sweet. Looking down into the crib at the end of a sleepless night and seeing him was just amazing. Almost surreal. Everything looked on the up and up, and life could only get better.
Soarin, wake up!
Rainbow Dash tried shaking him awake.
Come on, we gotta get to practice!
I don't want to move.
Soarin groaned, pulling the sheets over his head.
Blitzy was up all night. I got off practice today anyway.
Rainbow walked away and began filling her saddlebag.
Okay, I hope you survive until tonight.
Rainbow Dash trotted to Soarin's side of the bed and ripped the sheets off his face, revealing her bed-headed and bloodshot-eyed stallion, snuggling down into his pillow.
I hope so too. Have fun today and give me my covers back.
He pulled the sheets over his mangy face. Once again, she pulled the covers away, frustrating Soarin even more.
Give Blitzy a kiss for me. See you tonight.
Dash positioned herself over Soarin and placed a wet kiss on the side of his face. Their embrace was short-lived, as she had to pull away and start her day. Soarin fidgeted on the bed a couple more times, pulling the sheets up. Down below, he could hear Rainbow stirring about, most likely preparing something for Blitz to eat. Eventually, he heard her go through their front door and leave the house. Soarin waited a few more moments before slipping out of bed. He sneaked towards the window and saw Rainbow Dash take off into the sky. Perfect. From under the bed, he picked up an innocuous black hoodie and a large black saddlebag. Inside, various baby care items were carefully stuffed along one side, while a large blanket occupied the other. Now came the hardest part. He carefully made his way towards his son's room, ensuring each hoof step was as silent as possible. The door hissed and squealed as he pushed it open. Once inside, he took a moment to observe the war zone that was his son's room. Toys were scattered about, diapers filled up the trash can, baby powder was spilled on the changing station. The room was a complete mess, and a challenge to sneak through quietly. Delicately, he started to make his way to the crib. Soarin looked down on the floor and flinched, prepared for the worst. Blitz stopped snoring and paused, causing Soarin's heart to sink. Oh, he just knew Blitz was waking up right now. But, to his great relief, Blitz swiftly resumed snoring. Letting out a small sigh, Soarin quickly and carefully walked towards the crib once more. Once he was close enough, Soarin carefully lifted his son and, with surgeon-like precision, lowered him into the waiting saddlebag pocket. He looked about once more to make sure he hadn't forgotten anything. Assured he was prepared, he carefully left the house. The streets of Cloudsdale were relatively abandoned at this hour. With that black hoodie on, To anybody in the streets, he was just another stallion walking around early in the morning. Nothing really all that special. Ponies occasionally passed next to him, not even giving him a glance of acknowledgement. Though, with each passing pony, Soarin grew increasingly cautious of the saddlebag pocket with Blitzy in it, taking great care to avoid bumping into any pony. He began heading towards a shop that he had been visiting in secret for the past few months. The windows had some light condensation from the night cool air, and behind it stood a stallion polishing a glass case filled with sparkling jewels and gems. But as soon as he saw Soarin walk up, he immediately tossed the rag aside and moved to unlock the door.
Hey, Soarin. Great to see you. Come inside before some pony sees you.
The white Pegasus said, shuffling him in.
Man, it's nice to see you. Been a couple of weeks, Sor.
Yeah!
Why are we whispering?
With great care, Soarin undid the latch on his saddlebag and revealed Rainbow Blitz to his friend, Radiant Gem.
You had a foal?
Yeah, he's only a couple of weeks old. Like I said, things change, and it's about time I do this.
Soarin closed the saddlebag, sealing it off once again.
Oh, now I get why you were whispering. Sorry.
Gem gently wrapped his hooves around Soarin in a brotherly hug.
Well, I'll stop wasting your time. Go get her.
He handed his friend the custom item he had ordered.
I will. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
Soarin carefully put the velvet box into his saddlebags.
You don't have to. Good luck.
Soarin exited the shop. He was a stallion on a mission now, and nothing was going to stop him. Soon, Cloudsdale Stadium came into view. There were a few guards scattered about the grounds, 2 of them standing guard at the Wonderbolts entrance. They greeted him with a smile and a wave as he entered. There were very few people in the hallways as it was still early morning, and most of the staff and team were in the stadium proper for training. Soarin casually walked into one of the offices. Behind the desk, Spitfire was filing away at some paperwork.
Hey, I already cleared your day off. You're good to go home,
She said, never taking her eyes off her work.
I know.
Spitfire looked up, pushing some of the papers away.
Then why are you here?
Soarin walked over to the desk, unlatching the saddlebag, and revealed Blitz to her.
You brought him? I haven't seen him since the hospital.
Soarin gently lifted his son out of the saddlebag and held him.
He's getting so big.
Spitfire giggled, poking Blitzy's nose.
So what's the occasion? Or are you showing this little guy off to the world today?
Oh, well, that's the thing.
Soarin reached into his bag once more, pulling out large note cards and a velvet box. Her eyes lit up in surprise at seeing this tiny blue case.
Soarin, I don't know what to say. I'm so happy for you, the both of you. Wait, how many weeks has it been since he was born? I forgot.
3 or 4. I don't really remember. Why?
Spitfire started rummaging through her pile of paperwork. Upon finding what she was looking for, she started smiling as if she had just won the lottery.
I won the bet!
You were betting on me?
Some of the mares who knew about Dash being pregnant on the team all took a bet to see how long it would take for you to propose. And I won with 4 weeks. Here, let's go call the team in.
Wait, I have a plan.
Sweat tripped off of Rainbow Dash's brow as she led the group in a 500-lap sprint, the Wonderbolt exercise of choice. The ponies ahead of her quickly came into sight as she was about to lap them yet again. She finished ahead of every pony on the team, and now had the enjoyment of watching the others struggle towards the finish line. She sat down against the cloud wall as a few more finished their exercise. Her mind drifted towards thoughts of her new life, a life with Soarin and Blitz, a life she wouldn't trade for anything. Her musings were interrupted by a Pegasus blowing a whistle at the group while they rested.
Come on, it was just 500 laps. You've got a long day ahead of you. Okay, our next workout is...
Wait, Coach! A staff member shouted, running through the crowd towards his direction.
What is it?
The intern trotted over to the coach and began whispering into his ear.
Oh, alright. Thanks. Every pony, take a break and head toward the auditorium. Spitfire has something to tell you all. Go on. I don't want to see any pony trotting, or they will be right back here doing another 500.
Every pony jogged towards the auditorium, wondering what sort of news Spitfire could have that would interrupt training time. The small space of the auditorium was quickly filled up. Rainbow Dash was near the back of the group, looking towards the stage. The ponies were chattering about, talking about the workout, and wondering what this whole thing might be about. Spitfire did like to have these sorts of meetings every so often, but halting training to do so was almost unheard of. They didn't have to wait too long before their fearless leader came marching through the door in the back. Rainbow Dash couldn't really see from where she was, but she could definitely hear something was causing a commotion. Every pony near the front seemed to be surprised by something with Spitfire. Ponies in the back tried to get a better view, but they were blocked by everyone else scrambling to take a look.
Hi there, everyone. I would like for you all to meet the newest member of the Wonderbolt team, Rainbow Blitz.
Upon hearing the name, Dash's eyes grew wide. She had to see what was going on, and started pushing the ponies in front of her out of her way, trying to get a better view.
Congratulations, Soarin and Rainbow Dash, on a healthy baby boy. Give them a round of applause.
The Pegasi near the stage pushed themselves apart, giving room for Rainbow to see what was going on. Spitfire stood on the stage with Blitzy sitting on top of her head, happily chewing away at a bright orange mane, laughing and giggling from the attention. The crowd erupted in applause at the news, and every pony around Dash gave her a pat on the back or personal congratulations.
Calm down, everyone. That's not all.
Underneath her wing stood a stack of large note cards. Spitfire set Rainbow Blitz on the ground next to her, and put the note cards in front of him. As Dash continued making her way to the stage towards her son, Spitfire began turning over the note cards. Rainbow Dash turned around and saw Soarin down on his knees, with a tiny box held open by his wings.
Rainbow Dash, will you marry me?
She couldn't help but blush like a little school filly. Ever since they had Blitz, she knew this day would come. But never did she predict him doing anything like this. And he was giving her that smile, that one she could never resist, a goofy, soft grin that she couldn't help but smile in return. It was so innocent, so pure, and it spoke volumes on how he truly felt. The seconds ticked by, while she tried to comprehend everything that was going on, while Soarin, the father of her child, the love of her life, her special sun pony, was waiting. But Rainbow Dash already knew her answer.
Yes.
Upon hearing this, the noise in the room grew tenfold, as every pony was cheering, jumping around, and celebrating. Soarin stood up and brought Rainbow into a warm embrace. He raised a hoof, slowly brushing the mane out of her face. And then he pushed forward, kissing her full on the lips. Rainbow wrapped her hooves round his navy mane, not caring about the ponies that cheered around them. Spitfire walked towards them, smiling all the while Blitzy sat atop her mane once again.
Alright, you two. We don't want Rainbow Dash out for another 6 months again. Save it for later.
They broke apart immediately, embarrassed and blushing. Blitz's eyes lit up on seeing his mother's face. She caught her son's gaze and immediately reached over to hold him. Spitfire lifted the foal off her mane and handed him the Rainbow. Blitzy giggled with excitement at seeing both of his parents. Rainbow held her tiny son in her sweaty hooves, pulling him closer, his tiny heartbeat in sync with her own. Soarin softly laid his wing around the pair, the entire family happier than they had ever been.
Hello everyone, this is BlackIrisBalloon here. As I'm recording this, there is a storm going on outside, so if you guys hear anything, that's probably the reason why. So, there's a bit of history I want to share with this particular story. It's kind of funny, in a way. So, I originally had this slated for as a release on month of Lurve last year, 2015. I had all the lines set. They were sent to me on time. I had the music planned. I had sound effects at the ready. All I had to do was record my narration and then put it all together. And then I got distracted because the weekend of Valentine's Day, when I was supposed to be finishing up and releasing, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate dropped. And I got distracted by what's probably one of the best video games I've played in 2015. So this project just kind of spent a year in my computer, forgotten, and I come across it every so often. I'm like, I'll work on it next week. Next week. And it really wasn't until one of the actresses asked me about it in, I think it was November or December of 2015. They asked me, hey, when is this fic coming out? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I still have that thing to do. So I slated it for 2016, and 2016's month of Lurve, and here it is. So sorry this was so late. I promise, not every fic I do will be a year late. I mean, I know there's this one and then the order, but I promise I won't make that a habit. So I hope you guys all enjoy this. I hope to have a lot more stuff like fic readings and comic dubs over the upcoming year. More than I did last year. I just did one a month. I'm trying to do more, guys. I've gotten more comfortable with editing and recording, so expect some good stuff from me. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my alternate channel where I do fan dubs of stuff that's copyrighted and would probably get a strike on this channel for if I did it here. So yeah, go subscribe to Iris Fan Dubs, because I do have a release. I do have a thing coming this month. It's something I've wanted to dub for the longest time, and I just now feel like I'm in a comfortable place to actually do it skillfully as I want it to be. So there's that to look forward to. So that's all, and I hope you all have a pretty good day.